I'm Rick Branch, Sandy King Toyota, US Highway 78, on a new motor mile in Oxford, Alabama, where the customer is king. And speaking of king, I want to tell you about this FJ Cruiser here. You know, the sports utility segment is one of the most diversified, fast-growing segments in all the automotive industry. And people buy them to take the kids to school and go to work and cruise on vacation and go off-road sometimes and get by. The FJ Cruiser is where it all started 60 years ago, and it's a take me to the middle of nowhere and get you back. That's the first priority. You know, the very first, telling you about the heritage of the Cruiser, we had the very first sports utility. 60 years ago, the predecessor was the BJ Cruiser, went up the back slope of Mount Fuji, unheard of, and went all the way to Station 6, which has never been done before. That tells you what kind of ability this vehicle started out with, and of course 4 million vehicles later through the Land Cruiser, the FJ Cruiser here, we brought it back in 2006. I'll tell you a few things. This is a 4x4 2012. It's a 4-liter V6, 260 horsepower, plenty of pull, 271 pounds of torque. But this vehicle here, as I mentioned, it's made to take you to the middle of nowhere and get you back. How do we do that? You've got 8 inches of travel in the front end here. Your approach angle, 34 inches. That means you can pull up on something, a slope, a tree that's lying down, a rock, 34 inches of clearance in the front here. And if you want to cross creeks, ford water, the water fording level is 2.3 feet. That's going to be right in here somewhere that you can cross and not get in a jam. The departure approach, 31 in the front, is 34 inches in the back here. So you can see what kind of clearance this car has off the road, and that gets you in as much trouble as anything else. The 260 horsepower V6 gives you a 5,000-pound towing capacity, and that's unheard of in this venue here. It approaches like a 2-door. With our suicide doors here, you have access to the flat folding seat. You see it's an easy access inside the vehicle here. Stadium type rear seating. The seats, by the way, water resistant. The flooring is all weather flooring. This is made to go get in the mud and get after it. As we come to the back of the vehicle here, it's not a rear hatch. This is a level part of the vehicle. You open it, look how wide it is. JBL sound system with 6 speakers. This is all weather covering here. These seats go down on both sides. With the seats down flat, you've got over 66 cubic feet of interior volume. That beats anybody in the class. And if you'll notice a little closer over here, we've got a 115 watt, 115 volt, 400 watt plug-in, any kind of light power equipment, air compressor, any kind of small electrical device there. If you'll come around, I'll show you a few things inside. This vehicle is 4-wheel drive, as I mentioned earlier, and a V6. Stereo JBL, 6 speakers.
Welcome to the hands-free
Bluetooth, hands-free phone system. Cancel.
Canceled.
USB port and auxiliary. Active traction, locking rear differential, so you'll never get in a place you can't get out of. And again, with the airbag system here, it has a roll sensing side curtain airbags in some of the off-road situations, if a vehicle gets to a certain angle, it could deploy the curtain airbags for your safety. You have a cutoff of that. Inside a multi-information display, up here you have gauges. That's an inclinometer for that very reason, that tells you what your incline is, outside temperature, and your compass, which is real important for you. Adjustable wheel somewhere. Up and down. Power windows, power door locks, cruise, rear camera display. You've got a rear parking assist. This vehicle has everything you'd need to get out in the woods and get back. One of the most dominant off-road vehicles I've ever seen in my 20 years in the business. They don't just call it a great SUV, they call it an FJ Cruiser, so beat it if you can.